Next thing we're going to do is we are going to add a tap listener to our information viewer here, to our info window here. So what we need to do for that to happen is the following. We need to implement a few interfaces here. The first one is on info window click listener. Okay, so we want to be able to listen to that click on our info window. We have to make sure that we have implement all of the methods. We can see here on info window clicked. Okay, something's going to happen there. Let's add a next one here, which is on marker click listener. There we go. So want to make sure that also when the marker is clicked, something happens as well. Okay, and you can see here on marker click, something would happen. Great. Now, the next thing we need to figure out here is the following. We want to create a different kind of info window here. We want to make a custom info window that pops up because we have other things we want to add to it. How are we going to do it? We are going to create a class that will implement our info window. Let's go to our UI, say new class. I'm going to create, this is going to be custom info window. So we can say custom info window. Okay. This is where Java and Android shines because it allows us to do a lot of customization of anything that we want. Now this custom window info will implement, we're going to say implements, okay, info window adapter. So we're going to say info window adapter. Oops. Like that. Of course, we have to implement methods here. I'm going to say all to all of them. Okay. Private view, call this view, and let's create a layout inflator because remember we're going to be inflating or getting from our layout from our XML to make this view. So we're going to say private layout inflator. I'm going to call this layout inflator just like that. Let's go ahead and create a constructor here. This constructor here will actually take, we're going to take a context. Say context, call this a context. Let me create private context like that. And now here, we're going to say that context, and we're going to pass our current context. All right, and we're going to instantiate the layout inflator. It's the layout inflator type. We're going to say context.getSystemService. It's going to be layout inflator service that we are requesting. And then we're going to say view. It's going to be equal to layout inflator that we just instantiated. Inflate r.layout.custom info window. And of course, we haven't created that. Let's go ahead and import the R. We have an error because we haven't created our custom info window. All right, which we'll do right now. We're going to go to our res layout, say new layout, custom info window, say create. So we're going to go ahead and create the following here. So let's go ahead and add a card view. Let's say card view. There we go. We have to add to our library. All right, so let's go and get our card view here. There it is. And what we're going to do, let's go say wrap content. And let's add a few things here. Let's make this to include other objects inside of it. Relative layout inside here. Make it match parent. Say wrap content. And inside we are going to be adding a few things. We're going to put an image view, wrap content, give it an ID. I'm going to say icon info, and let's give it an actual source, right? Background. I'm going to say Android IC dialog alert. Okay, so we're getting this dialog alert icon from our Android drawable. Okay, if we go take a look and see how things are looking, you can't quite see it because it's white. Let's say plus, you probably can see something like that. Okay, that's good. Let's keep moving. Got a text view, wrap content. Gonna give an ID. Oops. It's gonna say win title. Style, say bold. Say size, let's give it about 16 SP. Layout right of icon title, icon info. That's what we call it. Let's give it text so we can actually see. Text, let's say hello. There we go. For some reason this is not, let's do it again. Our layout. There we go. Perfect. You should be seeing it. We'll come back to that. Okay, let's go back to our construction here. All right, so next thing we're going to do is on our text view, wrap content, ID, it's going to be magnitude. Okay, that's where our magnitude is going to be. That's the layout to right of icon info. Text, say magnitude. There it is, but it has to be below something here. Let's say below info. There we go. Actually, it has to be below our win title. Like that. Good. That's very good. And last but not least, create a button. Gonna have an ID btn to right of magnitude, margin left, let's give about 6 dp. Let's align it to bottom with magnitude as well. All right, that's not too bad. And we're gonna give it a text that says more info. Set a background color to, let's give it our accent color. And let's make it actually transparent. In fact, our background is going to be transparent. Let me do this. Background, just say Android transparent. There we go. See how it's looking like. Good. Let's give it a color, text color. With our accent like that. Good. And let's put dot ellipses like that so it looks like more info. Okay, that's good. Okay. All right, so let's go back to our custom info here and check it out and see why isn't this working. All right, because we have to pass other things here. Just pass null. Okay, for the parent. So inside of our get info contents here, this is where we're going to be setting up all of our items that we've added, all of this image view and text view and so forth. We have access to our marker because now look at this. We can say marker dot get position, get title, and many other options. Okay, that's good because we need that to set things up. All right, so we're going to say here text view. Again, we're setting up our views, text view title. It's going to be, it's a text view type. And we're going to say view, right? That find view by ID, r.id dot, we call win title. We can now say title dot set text to what? Well, to marker dot get title. View magnitude is equal to text view dot find by ID, r.id dot magnitude. And guess what we're going to do next? You guessed it. We're going to say magnitude dot set. I'm going to say then marker dot get snippet. So marker that gets snippet, it will get the snippet that we added to our marker. But now for this to work, we need to do the following. So now instead of returning null, we're going to return what? Our view. All right, because this view here would have all of these items that we have added. Okay. Now for this to work, obviously, you notice we go back to our map. our map is actually using the default info window, right? So we need to force it to use our custom one. In order for us to force our map to use our new custom info window adapter, we have to go back to our map, okay, on map ready here, just right here, and say mmap.set info adapter and pass say new custom info. And we're going to pass the context, which will be, I'm going to just say get application context, just like that. Check this out. If we run this now, look what's going to happen. Okay, everything is running properly. Tap, and look at that. Ha ha ha. Perfect. Now we're able to get magnitude 3.7, date, and of course we have that icon and our more info working there. And notice, if we click on our info window here, we can catch that event by going back inside of our info window clicked. We can now say, for instance, let's go ahead and say toast that make text get application. Let's say, because we have our marker object with all the things that it has, we can now say marker dot get. For instance, we can get the title to string. Say toast that length and show it. Okay, if we save this and run once again, and you tap, look at that. So tap this. Nothing is happening. Why? Well, again, this happens all the time. Even though we were able to implement all of the methods with our own info window click, we have to actually register our map so that it knows that we want to be able to receive those on-click methods, right? So just like we always do, we need to say the following. We need to say mmap set on info window click and pass this. Okay, we can say map mmap that's set on, what else do we do on map? Do we do on marker listener and pass this. Each time we add any of these interfaces here, we need to register them. That's the only way this will work. Of course, the set on info window click a listener, and we're passing this, which means this context. Now it's all registered with our map, which means if we run again, we should be able to see what we want to see. Okay, which is when we tap on one of these locations and tap on our info window, we should see that. Okay, and notice also that because we have our marker object here, we can get more than just the title. We can go ahead and say get marker that get tag if we wanted to, that to string. Okay, and we will set the tag. I don't think I've set a tag, or maybe I have. We'll see. Tap like that. Oh, actually I did set the tag. So let's go back and see what is this tag that we set. Remember here when I say set tag, so I'm passing in the earthquake get detail link, which is exactly what we are seeing when we tap on our info window here, right? Perfect. This is good. This is really good. So you can see now things we can do with our maps, with all of this data. And this application is very dynamic. As you can see, we're getting all of the information from the server and API. We are populating all of these markers on top of our map, and we can click on it. When we click, we are able to show this info window, which has information. And even when we tap on that window as well, we're able to do something else with it. Okay, so this is wonderful, and I'll see you in the next video.